Imagine this. You have a magic vacuum that can suck smoke out of the air before it goes up to the sky. That's what carbon capturing technology is trying to do. To stop planet warming emissions from reaching to the atmosphere, businesses now can install equipment that can capture CO2 and transport it to the sites where it can be permanently stored underground. It's a new and promising technology that many industries are already relying on. In fact, it was one of the key topics that was discussed in the COP28 in Dubai, if you remember. So, have we finally invented the technology that can stop emissions? Well, carbon capturing and storage technologies have both supporters and critics. It's a controversial topic, but before we get into the debate, we need to understand how this technology actually works. How do we capture carbon for real? And how do we store it safely? Once we cover the basics, we will explore whether it is advantages or disadvantages, and why some people are criticizing it despite it being sound amazing and quite promising. Let's go. How it works, I will try to briefly explain. So think about a factory or power plant burns stuff like coal or gas. Normally the smoke goes straight into the air, but with the carbon capturing technologies, we build a machine that grabs the smoke before it escapes. And then we hide the CO2 underground, or we try to use it for something else. And then storage is basically putting it somewhere safe, usually deep underground in rock formations. There's also CCUS, where the U means utilization, using the captured CO2 to make fuel, plastic, or bubbly drinks like soda. It's like installing a filter on a chimney to catch the smoke and pipe it down into the giant underground cave. Okay, that's the basics of it. But there are three ways of capturing carbon. Number one, post-combustion capture. That happens after burning it. A machine called scrubber pulls CO2 out of the exhaust gas. It's common in power plants and factories, like putting a net in a river after the water gets dirty. Number two, pre-combustion capture. That happens before burning it. Fossil fuel is turned into gas and CO2 is separated before it burns. It's used in some industrial setups, like sorting out the trash before it reaches out the street. Number three, direct air capture. That pulls CO2 from the air around us, not just from the factories. It's much harder, and it's only 0.4% of the air, and that is much more expensive. Like trying to catch the glitter after you throw it all over the room. And let's talk about why carbon capturing sounds so good. The supporters view. Number one, we need all the tools we get. Well, some emissions are very hard to eliminate, like cement, steel, aviation. CCS could help us to decarbonize, particularly for those sectors. And I agree with that as a non-perfectionist climate advocate, that we should be using all the tools we can, and they don't have to be perfect. Even though small step or an imperfect technology that can help us, we need to profit it. So absolutely. Number two, we can innovate our way out point of view. Supporters say that technology gets better and therefore the cheaper with time. And remember, once the solar panels were very expensive, and now they are quite affordable and commonly used. They say the same thing for carbon capturing technologies, and in my opinion, it is quite possible. Number three, big oil is investing in it. That must mean something. Well, of course, big oil is investing in it because they want to keep drilling. They want to exist. The fossil fuel companies like Exxon, Shell, they're all funding CCS technologies. And they argue like it's better to trap CO2 better than doing nothing, and which is fair. Of course, it is better than doing nothing, but the reason behind that they are supporting those technologies particularly is because they want to keep drilling and use those technologies as a way to drill more oil and continue their operation, even with the possibility to increase it. Why would not they? So, why some people see it as a climate solution? Well, it's because the CO2 is the main gas heating our planet, basically. And if we cannot stop all the pollution, which is very hard, maybe we can catch some of it. Okay, now let's understand and see some critics, why some people are against carbon capturing and storage technologies. And let's see some disadvantages. The critics' case. Now, diving into 5 main problems. Number 1, it is a fossil fuel lifeline. Just like I said, many oil companies say that we'll keep producing oil and gas and will capture CO2, which they want to use as a justification for fossil fuel existence. So basically saying, okay, we will not stop our fossil fuel industry, and if carbon capturing technologies already capture the CO2 in the atmosphere, then why should we stop our fossil fuel operations? We just continue, we just get rid of the carbon dioxide and problem solved. Nope. That was the main discourse in the COP28 in Dubai. It was rounded a lot about carbon capturing technologies that were fossil lobbyists were trying to advocate for. But you know why this argument is not valid and true? Because in practice, the emissions keep rising and capture is so tiny. We absolutely cannot rely on that. For example, Exxon's CCS project captures less than 0.1% of global emissions. You see? So the critics say, of course, it's like smoking 10 packs of cigarettes every day but wearing a minty mask. So it doesn't work that way. Number 2 critics is that it is so expensive. Cost per ton of CO2 captured is ranged from $100 to $600 depending on the method. Direct air capture, for example, is even worse. It starts from $600 per ton. Meanwhile, the solar and wind are cheaper and they reduce the emissions from the start. For example, the United States spent billions on carbon capturing and storage projects, and many of those failed or they were cancelled. Number 3, it's not working at scale. So just like I said, as of 2025, carbon capturing and storage technologies only captured 0.1 of the global CO2 emissions. And some of those captured carbons is used for enhanced oil recovery, injecting it into the ground to get more oil out. For example, most of the carbon dioxide used in the United States is for enhanced oil recovery, not for real storage. So therefore, the critics say they capture carbon dioxide just to drill more oil. And that's not really climate action we want to see. Number 4, it doesn't fix other problems. Carbon capturing doesn't stop a methane leak, for example, toxic air, water pollution that are a result of the fossil fuel operations. Communities near oil refineries or gas pipelines still suffer from the pollution and the side effects. For example, a CCS project in Mississippi blew up and releasing carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, harming locals. This is ecocide. So the critics say even if those technologies are able to capture carbon dioxide, they cannot capture injustice. Oh, that was tough. Number 5, and just like a conclusion of all this, those technologies are distracting us from the real solutions. Every dollar spent on carbon capturing could go to solar and wind, energy-efficient homes, public transit, and reforestation. For example, the studies show investing in renewable energy give more climate benefit per dollar than the carbon capturing technologies. And therefore, critics say that it's a band-aid on a bullet wound. Okay, here's when some experts think that carbon capturing and storage is actually helpful. It can help us for the hard to decarbonize sectors. So, like cement, CO2 is released from chemical processes and not just energy use. It's very hard to decarbonize from cement. For example, steel, due to high heat industrial process, it's hard to electrify. It can also help us in negative emissions. For example, DAC plus storage, removing CO from the air can be helpful. Or bioenergy with CCS, burning plants capturing the carbon dioxide that they absorbed. But it would work well only if it's not an excuse to delay a fossil fuel phase out. It's publicly regulated, transparent, and truly effective. In conclusion, carbon capturing can help us. I think we should invest in research in these technologies to understand how it can be more cost effective and efficient. But it's not the hero. That's the point of the video. That's why I also offered you the critical point of view along with the supporters. It's the sidekick and would work only if we really cut the emissions from the root causes. Carbon capturing and storage technologies are like a filter on a cigarette. It doesn't make the habit safe. It just maybe make it less deadly. We can't vacuum our way out from the climate crisis. We have to turn off the pollution tab, the root causes of it, and that's the real solution. I mean, I have no idea when they will totally accept that, but they will one day. Anyway, but I'm quite hopeful about the future technologies. I think future technologies can really help us with climate crisis because artificial intelligence is coming very fast and it's achieving incredible things already, and I'm sure it will bring us quite innovative and creative solutions for global warming and the way to be carbon neutral. But we need to have the grounded intentions and plans if we want to become carbon neutral before it's too late. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching my video, and please let me know what you think right below the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't already. I'm wishing you a wonderful day. Bye bye.